We love sharing our love of fishing with the next generation. And if you love seeing people catch their first ever fish, welcome to this edition of Live Bait. Jim, I feel like I'm in a museum honoring everything that we love.
Right on top like that. And there's our Palomar knot.
I think I do not want to let that one go.
Healthy, hardy, and safe, certified Arkansas bait fish.
All season long, we have highlighted the beautiful simplicity of a hook and a minnow. It's how many of us got started in this wonderful sport. So let's get this show started in the same way. Here's another edition of First Fish. A young man named Dylan. He just turned 5 and he's going fishing for the first time. All right, guys, this is one of my favorite segments in the show. It's called First Fish. And I've got Dylan with me. Dylan, how old are you? 5. Now, you just turned 5, didn't you? So he just had a birthday, a brand new 5-year-old, and we've got a brand new fisherman right here. You ready to catch a fish? Okay. Just put the hook in right like that. Okay. We'll lift him up and we'll throw him out like that. Okay. See that? Now, we're going to close the bail. Then I'm going to have you hold the rod, and then what you need to do, we got the sun right there. Okay, so hold, put one hand right here and one hand right here. Actually, let me do this. Oh, look at that, we got a fish already. Okay, all right, here you go, Dylan. Hold on and reel that reel, okay? Now, this is a big fish. Keep pulling, keep reeling, keep reeling. Real hard, real hard. You got him? Okay, keep going, keep going. Yeah, you were doing good, Dylan. You're doing good. Keep reeling, keep reeling. Look at you go, look at you. All right, we're gonna see that fish in just a second. Keep reeling real hard, buddy. You're doing great, buddy. You're doing great. You are gonna love when you see how big this fish is. Keep going, keep reeling. Okay, we're getting close now. When you see that bobber come up, that means you know you got it close. Keep going. Wow, you have got a big fish. You have got a big fish. Whoa, look at that fish. Did you see that? That was a big fish.
I gotta get the net.
Okay, we gotta get the net. We gotta reel him up first. Gotta reel him up before we get the net. He's not close enough yet because he keeps pulling away. Okay, whoa, look at that fish. Look at that.
I cannot do this.
Okay, keep going. You've almost got it real close.
Daddy, can you help with this?
Dad, you can come over and help if you like. Okay, here we go. Oh! Look at this. Okay, so you can set that down. Get ready. Woo! That is a big old fish. That is what we call a cat. That's a catfish. Okay, you ready to let him go? Look how big this fish is. Wow. Wow. What do you think about that? Was that fun? That was a big fish. Give me a high five. Okay. Whoa, look at there. He says, okay, I'm going. Woo! That was pretty cool, huh? You're a fisherman now. You have caught a fish, and that's a big fish. Ready to do it again?
Yeah.
Okay. We just set the record for biggest first fish of all of our first fish segments. That had to have been a 10 to 12 pound catfish. What do you think about that, Dylan?
Good.
Good? You want to catch another one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. All right, get ready. I think, yeah, he's got one. Okay, all right. Okay, start reeling in. Reeling in. Okay, pull hard. Oh yeah. Okay, woo, okay. Woo, looky here, we got another one. Oh, we got a big bass. We got a bass. All right, okay, keep reeling, buddy. Keep reeling. Let me get this net. Oh, it's fast action here. Woohoo! You got yourself a largemouth bass. Yeah.
I want to hold
You want to
it.
hold it? Okay, you can. Looky there. That is a largemouth bass. That was one of the best ever first fish segments that we've ever had. Dylan, 5 years old, caught him a bass and then caught, what was that first fish? Do you remember what the first fish was?
Fish.
It was a fish. It was a catfish. It was a huge catfish, probably a 10 to 12 pound catfish. That's pretty cool. Are you a fisherman now?
Yeah.
Are you happy about it?
Yeah.
You ready to do some more fishing?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a fisherman right here on First Fish. That's great. Now with that catfish, I believe Dylan set the record for the largest ever first fish on this show. And his second ever fish was a pretty big bass as well. He'll never forget that first day of fishing. Now he was using certified Arkansas bait fish, and all season long we have showcased the growers who make the bait that make fishing great. Now here's Landon Poole of Poole Fisheries in Lone Oak, Arkansas. Today, Landon is spending some special time with his 3-year-old daughter, Gentry Ruth.
All right, girl. Natural.
Fortified with certified Arkansas bait fish, the duo is now off to the pond.
Let's get wet.
You did.
Like many of the Arkansas baitfish growers, Landon is running a multi-generation farm, providing the bait that makes fishing great all over the country. Today, Little Miss Gentry Ruth is his #1 customer.
You got one. Reel it in. There you go. See what you got.
Whoa! It's coming! Oh, it's a big one!
It is a big one.
Oh, get it!
Oh my goodness.
Aww!
Look at that.
What the?
And you get to keep your bait.
He's a baby!
He is.
Aww! He's so pretty. Aww! Ah!
I'm blessed to be able to get out here and have a job that puts me in close quarters with nature and fish, and some of the best times I had as a kid, best memories I have is going fishing with my grandpa. Reel, 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 reel. You got him, girl. Woohoo!
Where is he?
There's another one. Okay, well, hold him like that, and then throw him in there. Okay?
Okay, Dad.
Good job.
When live bait returns, we have another first fish. We'll revisit some of the great art in fishing. And we showcase 2 more fish farmers who help make the magic happen in lakes and rivers all over the country. We will feature a lot of your photos throughout this season. Send them in to fishphotos@livebaittv.com. One of my favorite slogans in the baitfish industry comes from the Harry Saul Minnow Farm in Devall's Bluff, Arkansas. Good things come to those who bait. The Saul family has been doing this since the 1940s, and they know that slogan is true.
I'm Margie Saul. My husband James and I are second-generation aquaculture farmers here at Devall's Bluff, Arkansas.
Well, my mother and dad started out in 1950, and before they married, my dad was actually trapping and seining minnows out of the rivers. He was a river rat, and she'd come out of a cotton field. And after a lot of hard work. We get to live the easy life and work 7 days a week.
My grandfather's brother had been in the Pacific Theater of World War II, and he came back from the war, and my grandfather met him at the bus station down here in Devils Bluff, and he said, "Bob, I know where there's some nets and they're already tarred if you've got the money." And Bob had a pocket full of war money, and they went and bought commercial fishing nets, and they put them out on the river that weekend, and they caught enough fish out of the river that weekend to pay for the nets. And basically that was the beginnings of our family being in the aquaculture industry. We've both been blessed with good lives because of the sacrifice and hard work of the generations that came before us.
It's also a lot of hard work. No sleeping late on Saturday mornings.
Yeah,
Boo didn't always do his chores, you know, but lots of picking up chunks and driving tractors and dirt pans and getting to spend time with mom and dad out on the farm and learned how to work. You learned a lot of work ethic.
One of the competitors that we have is wild bait. Up in the northern part of the United States, there's an industry that basically goes out and harvests fish from the wild for bait fish and then takes and moves them to a different part of the country. And from an environmental standpoint, there's a lot of risk there. They can move a non-native species from one part of the country to another part of the country. There's certain diseases like VHS and that sort of thing that if they take it from one body of water and then put it in a body of water that hasn't been exposed to that disease, it can be catastrophic.
That's where the certification process comes in. The Arkansas Department of Agriculture performs a series of tests multiple times a year to certify healthy, hardy, and safe bait makes it to your bait shop all over the country.
What we're trying to do is to be able to differentiate our product from their product. We have an Arkansas Bait and Ornamental Fish Growers Association certification. It certifies that we're free of certain aquatic diseases and certain nuisance species. And what that does, it lets regulators know and our customers know that the product that we're sending to them, it was born on this farm, it was raised on this farm, it was cared for on this farm, it was put into our trucks, and then it was delivered to their location.
This is a very important heritage for us. We love how we grew up. We learned how to work hard, but we also learned how to love hard.
As a father, I don't think you can have anything mean any more to you than having your children come back into your business. And grandchildren, just one step better.
We do have our second, third, and fourth generation right now that are working on the farm, and we are selling to our second, third, and fourth generation customers.
Well, and it's good to have a place for your kids and your grandkids to be involved in the outdoors.
Last year, we introduced you to Danny Harris, an amazing wood carving artist who helps us appreciate our love of the outdoors while we're indoors. Since the last time we saw him, Danny entered some competitions for the first time. All right, we are at the Arkansas State Capitol right here. This is right in front of the House Chamber. I serve in the House of Representatives. Danny Harris here works in the Secretary of State's office, and the way we got together was through the Capitol because we have a mutual friend who said, "You two need to get together because of our mutual passion for the outdoors."
Yeah.
You remember last year we had Danny on and we talked about these amazing wood carvings. You've been busy in the last year.
Yeah, I've done 7 carvings since last year. One of them, or actually 2 of them, this bass and a white crappie that I did that's already sold, went to, I took them to a competition in Springfield. It was the World Taxidermy and Fish Carving Championship.
Okay.
This is a world event. People from all over the world come to this thing. But so I just entered the novice division, and the bass won first place, and later that week at the awards banquet, I learned that I also got best of show.
We were looking, before we started this segment, we were looking inside the mouth of the largemouth bass. I mean, so you'd think this is plenty beautiful enough, but when you look inside the mouth, I mean, I look in there, I'm fully expecting to see like the tail end of a crawdad coming out, coming out of its throat. I mean, the detail is incredible what you've done here.
I think I promised you at one point that I would get you a fish.
Yeah.
So this is,
oh man,
this is for you.
oh, this is, wow. This will
just
have
for the work that you helped me do. I appreciate your.
What we do mutually is a labor of love being out in the outdoors. This is incredible. That is, I don't know what to say. All I can say is that this is going to be a centerpiece on every desk that I ever own. Danny, thank you so much for what you do and for sharing your love of the outdoors, and I will treasure this for the rest of my life.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
When Live Bait returns, we've got more First Fish. A pair of brothers hook into some big uns. We will feature a lot of your photos throughout this season. Send them in to fishphotos@livebaittv.com. Older brothers can set an example for the younger ones. Now, you may remember our big fishing derby in our last episode. One young man named Nathan really propelled his team to victory. Today, he's helping his younger brother catch his first ever fish. All right, this is one of my favorite segments in the show. It's called First Fish. Now, we've got a young man right here. Colton, have you ever caught a fish? Colton, how old are you? 6. You ready to catch a first fish? All right, we got his big brother Nathan right here. Nathan, now you've caught some fish before.
Yes.
So we're gonna rely on your expertise to help us catch some big uns.
All right.
Okay? All right. Colton, do you know how to cast?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, do you know how to hook a minnow?
No.
We can show you right now. Lift up that yellow lid and tell me what you see. Oh, a bunch of minnows. Okay, can you grab one? We're just gonna hook him right there. Just like that. Okay. All right, okay. Now let's watch and see what happens. There's something jumping right there. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, good, got it. Okay, pick it up and start reeling. You got a fish.
Oh, yeah.
You got a fish. Colton, this is your first fish, buddy. All right. Looky there. Good job. That was fast.
It's a beauty.
And you still got the minnow too. Good job, my man. Okay.
Keep having this minnow.
Look at this. That's a crappie. That's pretty cool, huh? It's always great to see the kids catching their first ever fish. Now, all of the kids on this episode caught their first fish in a Vexus boat. The stability and the fit, finish, and features cannot be beat. If you're in the market for a new boat to create some wonderful fishing memories of your own, do yourself a favor and take a ride in a Vexus.
There's people that have waited their whole lives to own something like this. It's their vision that gets put down onto paper that creates a boat.
At Vexus, we have on our website the Build Mine function where a consumer can go on, build a boat that he's been dreaming of, and put whatever options he wants on it to get the actual sale price of the product.
You can build your exact boat at any point in time throughout the day. Hit print, take that to your local Vexus dealer, and we will build that thing exactly to your specifications.
Everybody is trying to do their darn best to make sure that you have the best boat built.
Not only can you build the boat of your dreams, you can actually color it and see it.
And so whether you end up going with the traditional polyflake finish or whether you end up going with the hard case paint finish, you're going to have the ability to have a custom boat that's manufactured by people in Flippin, Arkansas.
And we're going to do everything possible to make that rig your rig, the one you designed, the one that is unlike any other. It's about creating a relationship with the customer to make their experience the best it could possibly be.
We will feature a lot of your photos throughout this season. Send them in to fishphotos@livebaittv.com. Up in the northeast corner of Arkansas resides Jim Pillow and his fish farm. He's a third-generation grower who takes great joy knowing his minnows make the magic happen for anglers all over the country. All right, we got Chris Harden here, who's the shed manager here at Pillow Fish Farms in Paragould, Arkansas, and we are overlooking one of many ponds. We got, how many acres here total?
Roughly 1,600.
Okay, and so divided up, what's an average size?
Average size growing pond is, we call it 10 acres, but it's really about 8 acres of water, a couple acres of levee, and then our holding ponds, little quarter-acre ponds.
A lot of folks don't realize that from an Arkansas economic development standpoint, there are a lot more employees per acre on a fish farm than on rice farms or row crop farms.
Yes, it takes a lot of hands. It's mostly, for the most part, 80% manual work. It's loading buckets. It's you need help. As far as machines go, it's not how it works. It just works better if you have labor hands that can get things done. So.
All right, Chris, we're here in the hatchery. This is where this all begins.
Yes, sir. This is our mats, spawning mats is what we call them. We take these out to the pond and we'll set, it's basically like our fake grass. We'll drain the pond down a little bit so they can't lay their eggs in the grass and we catch them all. So this is basically our makeshift grass. The shiners, the goldfish, they'll get up on here and lay their eggs. We'll usually leave them about 12 hours, overnight, and then we'll go get them depending on what they look like if they're ready. So we'll load them up, bring them to the shed, and we'll wash them out because they get a little muddy. The shiners coming up, water, mud. And then once we get them washed, we put them here in these tubs, and then we'll treat them with formaldehyde for 3 days to keep them fungus free. And then 7 days later, we'll haul them back.
How many eggs are going to come through on a spawning season?
Oh man, the egg count is what we do it by, I guess head count would be 150 million.
Wow.
Head of that'd be on shiners. Now goldfish is a little different, but 150 million head of shiners we need to hatch off.
What's fascinating to me about this whole process is how there's no textbook when this all started.
Right.
When the Pillows started this, you just kind of figured things out and you learned by trying.
Yes.
And but to get to the point where now we say we got to have 150 million head of shiners to be able to make this go, and then all of the processes along the way to get the bait to the bait shop all over the country. It's a lot of innovation.
It's a lot of just trial and error, and I missed out on that part. I kind of got the easier route. They've already tried this, didn't work, try this, didn't work. And that kind of started with Jim and his dad and their family.
And we've got a little segment on the show called First Fish, where we get people catching their first ever fish on camera, and they're using these minnows, and the joy that we have been able to see when you get that magic tug on the line and the mystery of what's on the other end. But then the photos of those kids and adults that have caught their first ever fish on one of your minnows, that's, it stays with you.
Yeah, like I say, it's a small industry, but we're proud of what we do.
90% of all the farm-raised bait that you see all over the country comes out of 3 counties in Arkansas. And it's guys like this that are making the magic happen. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Go fishing.
Yes. Amen. We are so grateful you spent time with us during this season of Live Bait. Along our journey, we showed you how the minnows make it to your hook and help you catch more fish. We showed you how important it is to use certified Arkansas bait fish, how that certification is essential to maintaining healthy waterways all over the country. We also showed you people catching their first ever fish. And if you'd like to catch your first fish with us for our next season, send us a direct message on our Facebook or Instagram pages. Both are called Live Bait TV. We always love sharing our love of the sport with those who want to start their own fishing memories. As always, thank you for watching Live Bait. Be sure and find us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, Live Bait TV. We'll bring you tips, techniques, and show you how to use your live bait.